Hello, what is up guys? I'm here today, back with another Black Desert video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the most recent patch that came to Black Desert on August 10th of 2022, going over all of the important events as well as major updates. That way you don't miss a thing. This patch brings a few little tweaks, a couple little events, nothing too crazy though. But before we get into it, if you are new to my channel, new to Black Desert, or you've been watching videos on this channel and still have not subscribed yet, please consider it. It helps to grow my channel, you stay up to date with new content, we both win. And without further ado, let's get into the events like we do with every single one of these videos, starting off with the Termine Beach continuation week number 2. Whenever you log into this region on the character that I recommended you leave here last patch video, it's going to ask you for the Crossroad quest again. So for this week, instead of being combat oriented on the Papoos and life skill oriented on the Otters, they are now price oriented. So the Papoos are going to sell you everything for a cheaper amount. However, if you side with the Otters, you're going to spend more money on the items but get more of the item itself. So you can see, for example, across the top here, 30 memory fragments from the Papoos, or 100 memory fragments for 200 times the cost. So now the choice is up to you. Do you want more of these different items, or do you want them for cheaper? If this is your first time at the Termine Beach Water Park event, which is located right up here at the top of the map just above the city of Calpheon, I'd recommend you go and watch my video from last week on the patch notes, which will be linked down below, and you can look where all the different event quests are. But when you do swap teams, or if you do swap teams, you're going to have to do their initiation quest, so just run it down real quick. And then if this is your second week here, you're going to want to return back to the starting area, if you remember from that first video, and talk to this dude again, the festival guide. He will now have a quest for sandcastle repairs that you should be able to take. For some reason, that quest was locked last week. We can then run that quest line, so that's just going to go talk to these different people. And you'll also need an empty bottle, which can be bought from the NPC Melnia, who is once again located right here in the little market region. Talk to her, click on her shop, and she sells an empty bottle that you can buy. To get the seawater itself, just run over to the beach, and eventually when you get to the water, just fill it up when you're kind of in like ankle deep water there. And that'll give you the bottle of seawater that you can then take back to the NPC. That'll give you event sandcastle repairs number 2. And if you right click the quest over on your quest log over here, it'll put a waypoint on your map as to where you need to go. And you can repair it by interacting with the cracked sandcastle. Run back to that NPC, and that'll complete the quest where you can select either the beige dye or the blue dye. I'm gonna select the blue one. Just a couple reminders about this event. Again, if this is your first time at it, I have a timestamped video that tells you where every single quest is that you have to do here, so check that video out. Number 2, make sure you are claiming your daily dye from the login rewards here on your character that you have stationed at this location. So I need to go run it down the line and claim all those dye, all those coins. Nice little set of bonus items there. Number 3, make sure you are rolling those dye under the escape key on the keyboard, reward, Ancient Black Spirits Adventure. Again, if you use a blue dye and land on a blue spot, you get double the rewards. So make sure you are utilizing the dye such that you match the color. You see I got double rewards from that one. You also need to click the dye in your inventory to add them into that little roster of dye that you can use there. The rewards you get from that are going to be in your Black Spirits Adventure menu here, which is the B key on the keyboard. Make sure to claim those and turn them in with the NPCs over here, who have quests that you can do once per family, as well as repeatable exchanges depending on what you get. So these two NPCs right here by this little palm tree, make sure to interact with them. Next, remember to clean out the event shops from the 2 NPCs that are located here at the beach. So if you picked the Otters, your NPC is going to spawn in here. They haven't spawned yet because the patch just went live. They'll spawn in a couple of hours. So that NPC will spawn here. The other NPC, if you pick the Papoos, will spawn right here, next to the little art gallery area. So make sure to clean out their inventories once again. But I think that's it for covering this little Termine event. Let's get into some other events now. So the next event we're going to look at is login rewards for new adventurers, and this one runs periodically. Basically, if you've created an account within the last 60 days, you're going to get a bunch of awesome login rewards. Some of these to highlight are the transaction maids, which are going to make your life a lot easier while you're out adventuring in Black Desert. They're basically 200 LT for your entire account, and LT is your weight limit since you're new. You get a Patricio's apparel bag that lets you swap outfits. You get the Nadir's parchment that gives you a fail stack swap stack thingy. Like really, really nice upgrades here. A lot of those words probably don't mean a lot as a new player, but I promise they'll be useful as you continue to progress. Next up, we have the event Unveil Your PvP Skills, which requires you to post a PvP guide or tips for your class in the Community Tips, Guides, and Classes section. You must start with your server plus PvP, put some screenshots of your add-ons, your combos or something. They give you an example of a post. These are my PvP add-ons, blah, 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 blah. If you partake, you're going to get these Glory of Solaire boxes times 10. Which have some juice boxes in them. Next up, we have a Dark Rift boss event. This is a copy-paste of an event we had a couple of months ago. If you don't know what Dark Rifts are, in the bottom right corner of your screen, you see this little icon down here. This little icon shows you your Dark Rift bosses that are available. If you kill these guys, you're now going to get more loot from killing them, as well as a chance to obtain the Boss Summon Scroll box. Boss Summon Scroll box can be used to obtain Boss Summon Scrolls that can then be used to summon the bosses and kill them again for even more rewards. Again, this is useful for the Pen Boss Gear Progression questline. I have a video guide on this. There's also the text guide on it here in the patch notes as well. So if you don't want to watch me talk about it, you can just read about it. The final event we have is Daily Summer Postcards. These are going to be sent to your B menu in-game if you press the B key on the keyboard. The first one's not coming until August 12th, so you have a couple of days to wait. But yeah, free stuff for logging in. Just make sure to check your B menu and claim the rewards from in here. And that's pretty much it for the events, so now we can move on to the patch notes themselves. And the patch notes this time around don't really bring too much going on with them. So first things first, we have the events, which we already talked about. We then have some class tweaks, but again, nothing too crazy here to talk about. We then get into a bunch of like tweaks that happen to the Termine event to kind of make it a little bit more convenient to use and do different things, but it's nothing really too crazy. I guess one more thing I want to talk about with the Termine event though, is that a ton of people have been asking me what to spend the Termine special coins on that they've been getting from this event. And honestly, the only thing that I say you definitely have to get is either the Coco or El Pento set. Outfit boxes really aren't given out too often from events. The majority of this other stuff hounds out pretty frequently. I would also recommend getting the Inventory +4 expansion coupon on a character that you want some more inventory slots on. That's a definite must. But after that, you can kind of take whatever you want. I personally am not a fan of those transformation scrolls. I know some people love them. The rare Courser training box is pretty nice if you're going for a tier 9 horse, so I'm actually going to pick a couple of those up myself because I'm going for them. Same thing with the mythical feathers if you're trying to upgrade those horses to higher tiers still. But beyond that, it's kind of like, what do you feel like you really need for your character? Just whatever you do, make sure you get that outfit, and you probably should get those free inventory expansion slots as well. And as like an aside from this, I kind of really like the event this time around because like last year you had to sit here every single day doing these. Now you can kind of just do it once and clean out the event shop for everything that you want. So I am a fan of the way that they changed that this year around. Now the next major change to this patch is the ability to dye the different outfits that you can farm for in the game. And as an added little bonus, the La Resca outfit can now be fished up doing fishing in the region of Odalita. So if you do AFK fishing in Odalita, you have a chance to work your way towards this pretty sick outfit. They also added daily quests that lets you turn these into an outfit box so you can move them around. Next up, we have a really nice quality of life change. So for like all of the different boxes that might be piling up in your inventory, so like I have a bunch of these like green Rosar main weapon boxes or Rosar sub weapon boxes. These can now be taken to the blacksmith in major cities and exchange for the rewards instead of having to use the heating function in the processing menu. I'm sure a lot of people didn't even know that you're supposed to heat those to get bonus items. But yeah, if you heat the weapons inside, you get a bonus item. Now instead of having to go through the heating function, you can just go to the blacksmith, trade with them, and exchange it using the exchange function. So really nice quality of life improvement there. The Murwalk's Labyrinth in the Mountain of Eternal Winter got a bit of a buff to the loot as well as the value of the junk loot from within it. So if you grind in that area, you'll probably notice a bit more money per hour over there. Some new guild missions were added for killing different mobs. Some terrain features that blocked your progression were removed. And beyond that, guys, nothing else too crazy with this patch. So again, quickly recap, make sure you do your Termine event stuff, pick whichever team that makes more sense for you financially. If you want the cheaper ones, go for the Papoos. If you want the more expensive, more quantity, go for the Otters. Complete any quests you haven't completed here and decide what items you want to get for your coins as well. Again, if you want to do the art auction, it is happening again next weekend as well. The art auction that's like way over there on the map. You got the Dark Rift boss event going on if you're going for your Jatina gear, and look in your mailbox over the weekend to pick up some free stuff. If this video is going to help you here in Black Desert, do let me know in the comment section below. And also, if you are new to my channel, once again, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you at the next live stream over on Twitch every single Saturday and Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The next YouTube video right here, or wherever I happen to see you. Dice.